friends, it's Carolyn Zook here with C6 Stitch, and today is Saturday, June 28th, 2025. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad that you are here spending part of your day or your evening with me. It's a bit later in the afternoon than I normally film. It's a little after 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We had our Stitchy Zoom call for Magazine Monthly Challenge this morning. It was great. It was really fun, good turnout, lots of great discussions, helping each other figure things out. So that was really fun. And then I started getting everything together for the video. And then Jack, who, if you're new here, Jackie is my 18-year-old all black kitty cat. He cries for me. I mean, I assume it's for me. I'm just going to assume. I'm just going to tell myself it's for me. Because I'm working from home now, and he's not, health-wise, he's not doing the best. I will be honest. They think I have a fuzzy in my hair. Got it. Nope, it went on my shirt. The vet said he's probably in stage 3 out of stage 4 kidney failure. I mean, he is 18. He's over 18. He turned 18 in March. We lost his brother, who is from the same letter, last October, Simon. And so anytime he kind of like cries or meows for me to cuddle him, I'm going to spend the time cuddling him, especially because I'm home over the summer. I work from home over the summer, and I have the time and I can do that. And so he's a very cuddly little boy. So, so I had to cuddle him for a while. So I got a little interrupted, but that's all good. I want to take a second and just acknowledge the passing of an icon in our cross-stitch community, Minnie Gray, who passed away this past week. I didn't know her super well, unfortunately, but she was always so kind and generous and just a beacon of light for this cross-stitch community, and we will definitely miss her, and we are holding her family in our thoughts and our prayers. We had a lot of comments last week on I showed Julie had asked me, where are your whips? So Julie started rewatching my Flosstubes from the first one and asked, what's the update on those projects that you showed in your first video, which I thought was a great question. So I showed the update last week. And you all seem to love it. Some of you, Mirror Image Stitcher suggested I go back and make it a somewhat regular segment of my videos, and I really like that idea. I think maybe like once a month or so, maybe I'll go back and select an old video, and we'll just see where those projects are now. So Julie, thank you for that, like kind of starting this whole thing. I think it's a great idea. And Mirror Image Stitcher, thank you for the suggestion to keep doing it. So we won't overwhelm you with it. We certainly won't do it every single week, because I have to stomach rewatching some of my videos. So maybe once a month or so we will do it. Maybe starting in early August, and I'll just say the first Flosstube of the month we'll do Where Are They Now segment. So thank you both. I love that idea. This is why I love our community. It's so much fun, and so thank you both for that great suggestion. Always Be Yourself asked, how has your stitching changed since that first video? And I love this question. So how has my stitching changed? Well, I certainly have more projects. That's probably the biggest one. I have about 59 whips. Then I think I showed you pretty much everything I had as whips back then. I used to be a monogamous stitcher, and I still get teased about that, which is fair because I'm very much not a monogamous stitcher anymore. So I definitely have way more whips. I stitch more. I track my time, and I'm more involved in I co-run a Facebook group, a magazine challenge group with Robin of Bird's Eye Stitches. So we are definitely, when I stitch, there's a cat here. I don't know why I bother. because if you're on here, you'll always see me pulling cat hairs off of my cross stitch. But so when I stitch, so an evening of stitching for me is I do my 25 7-piece, which is usually between 25 and 35 minutes. Now that I'm home for the summer, I have a little more time. Like I don't have that commute time. So I can often get 35 minutes in, or 30, 35, a little more than 25 minutes a day. So I do that. And then everything I do, so I track time. I use my timer on my phone. And so if I stop to like look at my phone, or somebody texts me or something like that, I will stop my timer to like reply to the text and then start it again. So it's not like, okay, I'm going to stitch from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. and then just whenever I get up and have to go to the washroom or reply to text, it's all included. No, my friends. I will stop the stopwatch and I will, get up, go to the washroom, come back, restart it again. So I do 3 hours on my main project. So everything in my mind is done in 3-hour increments, which I didn't used to do. I used to not even track time, which drives me nuts now because I can't imagine not tracking time. Some people count stitches, some people count time, some people just say, I'm going to give it 4 days of stitching, and however much done I get done in that day, that's how much I get done in that day. There's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just for fun. I like counting my time because I like knowing how long a project takes me to finish. Like, how many hours did this piece take me? So that is very different from when I first started as well. I probably stitched 1.5 hours to 2 hours most evenings back then when I filmed my first Flosstube. It's probably about what I stitched, but I was also more monogamous, so I was able to get things done. Throw that out the window now. But yeah, so unless I'm sick or, have a bad headache or like have to work late or something, mostly I'm able to do like 3.5 hours of stitching every night, which is a lot. I know not everybody has that, but like I don't have children. I do have a full-time job. I don't have children though. So I don't have to like run to practices and banquets and, this and that and the other thing. And I don't really go out anymore. In fact, I get kind of like, not annoyed, it's not the right word, but I'm like, when somebody's like, hey, do you want to do dinner? And I'm like, can we do lunch instead? Because evening is when I stitch. I usually don't ever stitch during the day unless I'm at like a retreat or something. Mostly because I like to get my errands done. Like on the week, I work during the week, but then on the weekends is when I'm like mowing the lawn, cleaning house, running errands, getting groceries, like all that stuff that happens during the day. And then the evening is when I can sit down and just stitch. So I rarely stitch during the day. It all happens in the evenings. So I hope that answered your question. Probably not being monogamous is the biggest change. And the amount of whips that I have is probably the biggest change. And the amount that I'm stitching now. So thanks for asking that question. That was fun to think about. Nancy asked another question, not related to going back to looking at our first floss tubes. But Nancy asked about stitching on 18 count and if you use 1 or 2 threads. And Nancy, I wasn't sure if you were asking me personally or if you were asking in general, how do you do it? I personally, so 18 count, Ada, is the same as like 36 count. I personally, when I stitch on 18 count, and I have some full coverage that are on 18 count, I stitch with 2 threads. It is somewhat tight. It does not bother me that it's tight. I like really, really full coverage, and I really like stitching with 2 threads. I do not like stitching with 1 thread. I will do it when I have to, but it is not my favorite. A lot of people would do 18 count or 36 count with 1 strand. I prefer 2 strands. And then she asked about 25 count. I don't ever stitch on 25 count. I would probably do 25 count with 1 strand, just because it is so much tighter. 18 count is kind of my limit for doing 2 strands. But yeah, 25 count, I would recommend 1 strand of floss. 18 count, I think a lot of people do 1 strand. I do too. I know other people who do also do 2 strands over 18 count because I like the real full coverage. So I hope that answered your question, Nancy. Let me know if you have additional questions. Okay, let's get into our whips. Now, so I continue to work on Spotted Cow. This is the Mill Hill kit. Comes with everything you need. She is looking so cute. You ready? Here she is. Now, I can't remember if last week this ear was completely done or not, but that ear's done. And then I went over here and just kind of started in stitching in like the blue sky. There's some like gray blue. There's some white that's kind of hard to see, but when I get more stitching around it, it will look better. So not super fun because it's like now we're in the background and the sky, but needs to be done, right? So, and it really does fill it in. I am not stitching this on the perforated paper so you can see I'm stitching right up in here. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count antique white Lugana. I just had it in my stash. So yeah, that's where Spotted Cow is. So cute. All right. The Magic of Summer, people's favorites. This is a dimensions kit that Margaret sent to me. This is what it will look like. I'll be making personalizations and changes in it. This came as a kit. I'm using the kit floss, and I changed out the fabric to a 32 count sea glass by Fortnite Fabrics. And I'm right over, I started on the house. You're going to be amazed at the progress. So I'm starting over here. I did not go all the way. I know last week I talked about, well, maybe I'll go all the way down to the bottom. I didn't. I started on the house. And so this house is going to be the quilt shop in Cannon Beach, Oregon. So I'm going to change it from a fish to a quilt shop. And then this is going to be the candy shop. This boat is going to be another thing. Anyway, so this is where we got to. Look at that. It looks like a house. So this needs back stitching. That's on a separate chart in here. So I'm going to wait to the end. But like, look at that. We got all that done in like 3 hours. Like this. It really looks like a house. And there'll be back stitching that goes to like make the window panes and stuff like that. But we'll worry about that later. But you can see it. Isn't that a cool color? It's like a dark gray. I really wanted it to be brown. And I thought about changing out the color. But it's kind of like a trust the process and let's see what it looks like. And I really love it. I think the flowers along the edge here really do stand out. And this counted for Magazine Monthly Cross Stitch Challenge Group. Our acrostic for the month of June was sweets. And so this counted for the tea and sweets for the Magic of Summer. So we are getting close to, well, yeah, we're kind of getting close to the first personalization because that boat will have a personalization. I have decided to keep the boat. Those of you familiar with the Oregon coast will know Moe's Restaurant. I know Sarah Stitching Mommy said that she liked the idea of making this into Moe's I think there's 3 or 4 of them along the Oregon coast. It's a restaurant. They're known for their clam chowder. And I'm just going to put Moe's Restaurant on the boat just to give it a little personalization because I'm trying to personalize this to my favorite town on the Oregon coast, which is Cannon Beach. So that's where we're at. You can still get this kit. Someone emailed me and told me that they went and bought it so that they could start it. So it's still available. Again, it's called The Magic of Summer, and it's a dimensions kit. So that's where we're at. I'm so excited. I was so happy to pull it back out this month. Okay, summer montage. Here we go. We are on this block, and you are starting to see the curvature of that watermelon up there on that corner. A lot of you commented. I know I mentioned like how long I thought it was going to take me, and several of you commented like, we did the math for you, and it's going to take you like 30 years at the rate you're going. Because I get about 3% done a year. They're like, that's going to take you 30 years. And I'm like, I know. I'm so scared. So I have to figure out a way. So what I thought about doing it this year, but I just don't have enough. The problem is I don't want to get burnt out. You know what I mean? But I may try to do like every Saturday, Sunday on this piece next year. We'll see. But anyway, this is where it got to. I got a total of 434 stitches, and I'm now at 7.16% done. So I got a lot of work in here, and so you can see that curvature of that watermelon. You can kind of see some of the stripes coming in too. So far, where this one is at is much less confetti heavy. I'm sure there will be places where it's confetti heavy, but like where I'm at now is less confetti heavy than the spring montage where I kind of ended, which was a lot more, like it was harder to get more stitches in. But we're at 7.16% done. So that's pretty good, right? And you can kind of start to see that watermelon. I can't wait for like the pink juicy insides of this piece. Someone said they were excited about the corn. I'm also excited about the corn. I'm from Nebraska originally, which is the Cornhusker state. So we're excited. So yes, that's my plan, right? Do the watermelon line. I'm talking like this isn't going to take me 10 years to do. Watermelon, corn, beehive, bees, and then we're going to work back. So we're going to kind of do, and then, oh my gosh, then we'll be halfway done, over halfway done. Not yet, not yet. So this is where we're at. I think it looks so good. I love it. I love seeing that kind of watermelon kind of come to life. So we'll just keep working on it. We'll just keep working our way down. That's all you can do. Okay. For WIPGO. Did I bring my, oh, it is here. WIPGO. We have completed June's WIPGO. Oh my gosh. Okay. I pulled out my calendar, my 2-year calendar. It's looking pretty. It's looking pretty beat up. Okay, so I can't remember what number it was. I think it was this one up here. So we have no bingos yet, but we are up to date. Christmas dinner is what we worked on for the last WIPGO of the month. This is what it will look like. This is from Stitcher's World. I believe it's from 2001. And we gave it 4 days rotation. So my WIPGO board has 4 days rotation for each piece. So I have 6 pieces on my board, and they're on there 4 times each, and they each get 4 days, which is a good amount of work. So we started on the Santa. I think you're going to be really surprised when I show you this, because it's kind of shocking to see. Okay, are you ready? There it is, my friends. There it is. So let me show you a close-up. So I mostly this week worked on the Santa. I had a little bit of other like ground cover and stuff, and I still have a little bit more, but I'm getting low on this this color. It's a Karen Water Lilies color. I ordered it from Acorns. I just need to get out there and pick it up, frankly. Okay, sorry, I was looking at something. But here we are. So we did all of this stitching with this boots. So I did backstitch the boots because they are done stitching. I have not backstitched anything else. But then I did his pants, and then there's, what's that sticking out? Oh, he has a walking stick. This is part of his walking stick that I started on. And then I went in here and I did the red, there's some blue, and then there's some black, and then we started in on his cloak colors. This is his cloak colors. Now there's a line in between the black and the red that is like gold metallic. I have not done that quite yet. I will probably go back in and do that. And where you see all those empty spots, that's all beads. There's going to be a ton of beads in this piece. So, yeah, so that's the majority of where we spent our time, which looks great. I think I'm going to put this on my year of WIPs for next year to try to finish it. So this has come out 3 times already, been called 3 times on the WIPGO board. So that means it's only on the WIPGO board 1 more time this year. Now that doesn't mean I can't work on it additionally, but we'll see if we have time. So that's what it's looking like. Pretty good, huh? I'm happy. I was excited to get started on the Santa. And actually, I thought the Santa was going to be super intricate and really, really hard. It's actually not bad. There are blocks of 1 or 2 colors, which makes it easier. Because when you look at it, it looks like there's a lot going on in there. And there are a lot of beads and stuff, but like it's actually pretty straightforward. So I got further along on the Santa than I had planned to. So I'm excited about that. So that won't be too terribly bad. And maybe with like regular progress next year, we can get a finish on that one. Because that's one of my older WIPs. I think it's from 2020. So it's time to get her done. Okay, So that was WIPGO. And then I pulled out last night, Friday night, I pulled out for the last time this month, One Nation by Bygone Stitches. I am over here in this field of stars. I am on this row, the third row from the bottom. So we have a long row, short row, long row. I finished all but the last star in this long row. So basically I have one star in that row, a short row and a long row, and then I'm done with the field of stars. So that's super exciting. And then I can start in on the state names. So this is a big piece. What is this? 32 count. I'm stitching on some 32 count over 2 on a French blue Lugana by Fabrics by Stephanie. And here's where I'm at. So super happy with that progress. I really tried to get that last one done, but I kind of ran out of steam, and my 3 hours was up. And I was like, I don't want to spend another 30 to 40 minutes on that last star. So I'll do that next time it comes out. I mean, technically it should come out in July because I like to pull it out when there's like a national holiday, like 4th of July would be perfect, but it's not gonna, because I don't have space for it in July, but it'll come out again at least once or twice this year yet. Maybe even more, maybe twice. We'll see. So maybe this year the goal can be to finish that field of stars, right? So we will see what we can get done on that. But that was super fun to pull out, and I'm much more motivated to work on it now that I'm almost done with that field of stars. And then it'll be fun to work on the state names and all that. So that is everything that I worked on this week. So it was a good week. It was a busy week at work because I am officially on break now until August. I am an 11-month contracted employee, so I don't work the month of July. However, this year we have a summer camp for high schoolers that we're running in the smack middle of July. I'll talk about that more later during plans. But anyway, so no haul. Look how well behaved I am. And giveaways. We do have 2 giveaways. So first up is the Nutcracker. This is by Dirty Annie's Nutcracker Forever. This is the Snowflakes one. And the winner of this is a long name. So winners, you can email me at czookstitch@gmail.com. Billy Joe Wing Fogelsonger 6147. You won this. She said she wanted to stitch it for her granddaughter, and she was the winner. So very cute. Billy Joe Wing Fogelsonger 6149. So please email me. My goal is to get everything I have mailed out Monday. And then the second one was number 6, which is Spanish Hot Chocolate. Very, very cute. The winner of this is Deborah Quilts. So I probably need your address. I don't know. Can you just email me, please? That'd be great. Thank you. So that leads us to plans. This would be a quicker video. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see how much I ramble about this. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to get everything sent out by Monday. I know I've said that before, but I am determined. Monday. There's going to be no video next week because I will be out of town. I will be back on July 12th. So I just wanted to let you know that I will be traveling a little bit. So let's talk first about July WIPGO. So I have WIPGO here. So Jessie Marie called the numbers. And if you will see here, I needed either a 3 to get a bingo that way or 17 to get the bingo diagonally. What did she call? She called 2 and 16. One number less on both of them than what I needed. So as you can see, I still don't have a bingo. Jessie Marie, I would almost think she did that on purpose. I was like, I need 3 and 17. Okay, here's your numbers, 2 and 16. You're kidding me. It's fine. It'll get there. We'll have a blackout, presumably. So it'll get there. Once I do number 2, then I only need a 15, and then I'll get a bingo that horizontally. But no bingos yet. So that's kind of funny. Anyway, so number 2, this is only the second time this has been called, which means it's on the board 2 more times after July. is Jan Hicks Creates Antonia Roselle y Garcia 1886. It is this chart. It is on my year of whips to finish. So it just hasn't been called a whole lot this year. And let me remind you where I'm at on it. Oh my gosh, this piece is bigger than okay, here we go. So we are on that smaller alphabet, so hopefully that will go faster. Some of those big letters, I know letters are supposed to be quick, but some of them, the big ones, do take a while, honestly. So I'm on that little tiny alphabet down there at the bottom, and then I have to pull down the border, and I'll show you on the picture again where I'm at. But this is where we're at. So that will get 4 days of July. I almost always do Jolly July. I'm not doing that this year because I'm traveling and I'm going to be gone for like 10 days. And it just didn't work. It just didn't work between the 10-day travel and then the high school summer camp. It's not, they are sleeping over. We are not in charge of the sleepover part, thankfully. We are just in charge of content from 9 to 5. But I think it's going to wear me out. Anyway, so I'm on this alphabet right here. You can see that one that kind of stands out right there, the smaller one. I'm on that alphabet. So really, the border does take a while. It's deceiving. But once I finish that, which should go quickly because they are small letters, then underneath it, it says in Spanish, for Antonia Roselle y Garcia, and it gives the year 1886, and then there's just like a little bit of design. So, and then the border. I do not think I'll get it done in July. It will not get done. But that is Antonia, so that will get 4 days. So anyways, going back. So I'm not doing Jolly July like I normally do, which does feel a little weird. And I am not going to do Tour de France this year. Which I know, but I just don't have the time because I will not, this month is just different, right? Like the way I can do Tour de France is because I have that time off. And so in the late afternoon, I can sit down and stitch the Tour de France because some of those days are close to like 200 stitches, which could take me an hour and a half, which I just don't have that time in the evening unless that's the only piece I'm working on. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to do Tour de France. I just won't have time traveling. I'm not taking that big piece with me. I'm thinking of Cat's Alphabet. It's a full coverage. I'm not taking that with me on my trip. And right after I get back from my trip, we launch into camp for a week. And then July's halfway over. So I'm not going to worry about it this year. Okay? So then the second WIPGO piece. So this was a substitution because I UFO'd the original piece. And it has not been called yet this year. So this is the first time that this piece has been called. So we're going to see a lot of it. We may even get a finish on this. It's Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. I started this last year, I believe, for my birthday. It's not that terribly big of a piece. I know Karen from Stitching Past My Bedtime already finished it. And her, she did kind of like spooky Halloween colors. So this is where I'm at. I'm maybe slightly less than halfway done. I just picked random colors. And I'm just going for it. So that's where it's at. I love the colors. I think it's so super pretty. So again, this is what it looks like. I am at the bottom. Is that right? Yeah. So we're at the bottom. We have something under that U. It's just like a little motif there. But to finish up, and then we'll work our way over. So I would say I'm slightly under halfway done on this one. So I think this one will get done this year. It is not on my year of whips, but I think with putting it on WIPGO 4 times, and this will be the first time it's even called, I think it will get done. It was going to go on my year of whips for next year, but it might not happen. It's just stitched on a 32 count antique white Lugana, and I'll have a lot left over of that piece. Okay. So then, of course, we'll work on summer montage, and I'm going to give it an extra day in July. Well, it's not really an extra day. I'm going to work on it 2 days back to back because I'm going to miss one Sunday of working on it from traveling. So I'm going to do like a Sunday, Monday type thing. So we'll still get 4 days total in the month. Okay, My 25/7 piece for the month of July is a very special piece. I showed this a while ago, I think. It's a very old piece. This is called, it's a Janling kit. It is called Joy Banner Christmas Cross Stitch by Janling. This is what it will look like. Okay. It is copyright 1989. My grandmother, may she rest in peace, started it. Then my aunt took it and thought she was going to stitch on it, and she didn't. And then she mailed it to me. It's just a mess. She mailed it to me. Look at these strings. And said, do with it what you will. Well, I want to work on it. I have to figure out directionally where we're at. Maybe it's like this. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I want to work on this because these are my grandmother's stitches. She passed away about 6 years ago, almost to the date, 6 years ago. And those are her stitches. And so normally I would like change the fabric. I mean, there's masking tape on it, you know, all that stuff. But I don't want to restart it because I want my grandmother's stitches on there. So that is going to be my 25/7 piece for this month. And again, this is what it looks like. I have to figure it all out. I may serge the edges. Let me take the tape off and try to serge the edges before I get started on it. It included everything. It's 11 count Eda cotton floss. So it's 11 count. So I'm gonna work on that, and that will be really special and fun. And look at this sweet. This is how we used to do it. I used to do it like this too. This is my grandmother's handwriting. So she's pulling out little scraps of the fabric. So this is our key, right? From Hank 1 and Hank 2. Isn't that precious? I mostly like seeing her handwriting. So I kept those because I just think it's sweet. So that is called Joy Banner. So we will go ahead and work on that for our 25/7 piece. Then we're going to have a new start. Well, I guess that sort of counts as, I mean, it's a whip, but it's not counted in my whip count, right? So we'll add that to the whip count. But my new start for July will be a piece I've had kitted. I've had it ready for a couple of years now, and it's just time to start it because it's already been kitted up. It's from the 2021 calendar by The World of Cross Stitching. This is what it looks like. It's the Beatrix Potter Peter Rabbit, and I'm going to start on this one. I don't know if I'm going to do all of them, but I'm definitely going to do, I want to do this one. I for sure want to do this one, probably this one. The only one I'm really not crazy about is the squirrel. He just looks kind of angry. I don't know. We'll see. I don't need to decide now. I'm starting with Peter Rabbit and his mommy. So I have fabric, I think, for all 6 of them here. It's just like a white or antique white Lugana. That's all it is. So I have that. I have the floss. It's just DMC. Let me show you a better picture of it. So maybe I'll pick like my 3 favorite because I think 3 in a row would look cute. So that's what it would look like. And then just call it good. They're not terribly big, but you know, these are like magazine stitches, right? And so they, you know, there's some confetti. This one actually doesn't look bad. There's a lot of back stitching to get that detail. Tom Kitten and Peter Rabbit. 110 high by 86 wide. So it's not terribly bad. There's half stitches, but the half stitches, I already looked at those. The half stitches are just the grass. That's all the half stitches are. So it doesn't really matter if I do those in half or whole. Like, it's not even, like, I'm not worried about dimension as much, right? Like, because it's literally just these little lines of grass. So I'll probably just do them in whole stitches because I think that's the only place where half stitches are. So I'm not going to worry about it. Anyway, that'll be fun. That will get 5 days in the month of July. And then we will work on Woodland Christmas. I guess this is kind of my Christmas in July. We'll work on number 11 out of 12. We're closing in on a finish on Woodland Christmas. This is by Tiny Modernist. I got the charts from Crazy Annie's. And I know I showed this last week, but here's where we're at, folks. Look at that. Isn't that so cute? And so I have a small start on that border. You can see next to Santa there. Just a small start on that border. And yeah, this is what the whole thing looks like. I think this is going to make a really cute, I don't think I'm going to frame it. Maybe. Tell me what you think. I was thinking of making a wall hanging. Then it's easier to store in the off season. Like I could keep this up all winter. That's fine. But maybe, I don't know. It might look good framed too. So after looking at this whole thing, I know I mentioned this last week. I think we're still on the Q-Snap though. So in the squirrel one, there's that little flower. I think I might take that out and just put a snowflake in because I do like the snowflakes. I guess the dove has one too. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so it's bells. So we'll be working on that. This one in July. All right. So that is, so on my trip, I am going to be visiting mostly family and some friends. And on that trip, I'm going to take Joy Banner with me to stitch on. And then I'm going to take Biddy Bowl September. So I only have 2 more, September and October, 2 more months. I sent off to my finisher, I sent off the last 3 that we had done. It was May, June, July. And she sent back to me, I forgot to pull them. I'll show them to you next time. But so we're going to start on September, which is very fallish in July. But this is a good travel piece because it's small. So I'm going to take that and Joy Banner. I think those might be the only 2 pieces I take with me on my trip. I hadn't really intended to start on Biddy Bowl this month or in July, but you know, it's a good travel piece. So I'll just take it with me and see what we get done on it. But I'm not planning on getting it done during the month. That one I think is slated for August to like finish, but progress is progress, right? So this week, I'm doing a lot of cleaning this weekend and errands and yard work just to get ready for my trip. I leave on Tuesday. I'm going to finish up Spotted Cow for 25/7 for the month of June. We will be working on the Magic of Summer 2 more times yet this month. So it would be tonight, super excited, and Monday night. I decided I have this one random day. Let's just work on another day. I know it's a lot of our favorites. And then Summer Montage, which I'll work on Sunday. And then, yeah, no real plans for the next 10 days after that till I get back from my trip. So the next video might be kind of short too because I don't know how much stitching. I'll have a little bit of stitching to show you, but we'll just see. Who knows? So I think that's everything today. I guess it did end up being a little bit longer than normal. So that's everything for today. I hope you are staying cool. I hope you have a great Canada Day, July 1st, and happy 4th of July on the 4th of July. And I will see you all in 2 weeks. Stay cool and stay safe. Bye.